Massive franchises to shared universes, the biggest production companies in Hollywood are all vying for IPs to land massive profit. With most of the biggest studios all having their own streaming service, these massive cinematic universes must also branch out to attract subscribers. Disney has done it with Star Wars and Marvel, Warner Brothers has done it with DC. Paramount now looks to bolster their offerings with Sonic. A surprise hit in 2020, Sonic the Hedgehog proved to be a fun family film that scratched fans' nostalgic itch, if not feeling a little lackluster to critics. The sequel has landed itself exactly in the same position, and so far is shaping to be another profitable venture, prompting Paramount to greenlight not only a third film, but an inevitable spin-off series for Paramount+, one focusing on Idris Elba's Knuckles. But is Sonic 2 as great as fans say? Or is the room temperature reception from critics more apt? Once again, starring Ben Schwartz as the voice of the blue speedster himself, Sonic, and Jim Carrey as the villain as Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman, Sonic 2 sees the return of previous cast members James Marsden and Tika Sumpter, but also brings in video game stalwarts Knuckles, voiced by Idris Elba, and Miles Tails Prower, voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, the only voice actor from the games to reprise their role. Sonic 2 picks up where the first left off, with Dr. Robotnik stranded on a mushroom planet. Robotnik, of course, escapes and returns to Earth to cause havoc, but not before meeting Knuckles and conning him into doing his bidding. Tails, who has been monitoring Sonic, arrives to forewarn him of the dastardly team-up, and races on to get the Master Emerald, the culmination of all 7 Chaos Emeralds, powerful gems from the Sonic games. Sonic 2 is mostly more of what we got in the first film, with a much larger dive into the video game mythos. Whereas the first concerned itself with introducing Sonic and Robotnik, setting up their characters and motivations, the sequel looks to carry on their stories while introducing Tails, Knuckles, the Chaos Emeralds, and throwing in tons more references to the grander mythos. It also brings back nearly every supporting character from the first film, even if for a brief cameo. Building upon the first is what good sequels do, but Sonic 2 tries to cram a bit too much into its story, and while still a fun family movie, the character depth for much of the cast is sacrificed for action and cheap laughs. But character depth isn't the only thing lessened in the sequel. While the first film is still mainly aimed at younger audiences, it's clearly a film made for Sonic fans of all generations, with Easter eggs and clever references to years of the Sonic franchise. The sequel, in comparison, leans heavier into the childish aspects and offers less of the creative and witty humor and references that can only be caught by its older audiences. This doesn't mean it isn't still packed full of nostalgia and Easter eggs, but this time around the jokes and references are all more on the nose than clever, and the humor more slapstick. Even Jim Carrey, praised for his performance in the first, feels more generic. That said, Sonic 2 isn't a bad movie. Kids will absolutely love it, and many hardcore Sonic fans will too. I found myself grinning quite often at many aspects of the game brought to life, and the finale does not disappoint. What I really wished for, however, was more of the personal touch that the first film had. Scenes between James Marsden's Tom, who acts as a surrogate father to Sonic, were touching and well done in the first film. In Sonic 2, Tom takes a back seat, and the few emotional moments attempted are either generic or else not allowed to sink in, as they are immediately brushed off with a joke. There were simply too many characters in this film to do them all justice. Holdovers from the first, such as Deputy Wade, Robotnik's assistant Agent Stone, and Tom's sister-in-law Rachel, just didn't feel needed for the story this movie was trying to tell, especially when adding in iconic game characters like Tails and Knuckles. Luckily, however, the characters pulled from the games themselves are still handled well. Knuckles is one of the more entertaining aspects of the film, and while his fish-out-of-water shtick of taking everything said to him quite literally is a comedic trope seen before, Elba's performance makes the humor land more often than not. Tails likewise embodies the character of the games, though this is less surprising performance-wise, as his voice actor has been doing the character for years. Ultimately, Sonic 2 will satisfy most audiences, and is already proving to do just that. Already showing some cracks, however, I worry whether Sonic has the legs to be a massive universe such as Marvel. After all, not everything needs to be so huge. But Sonic 2's popularity should provide Paramount plenty of justification to move ahead with their Sonic Cinematic Universe plans. I just hope future projects don't forget to maintain the heart that made the first movie so popular. I give Sonic the Hedgehog 2 2.5 out of 4 stars.